In the sunny streets of Pretoria, South Africa, a young boy named Elon Musk began to weave the tapestry of his future. Born in 1971, he was not only a child with an insatiable curiosity, but also a boy who navigated the world through the lens of Asperger's syndrome, which is a form of autism spectrum disorder that makes a person having a hard time relating to others socially, as well as repetitive behavior patterns and a narrow range of interests. This neurological difference shaped his unique perspective, fueling an intense focus on his passions and an unparalleled drive to understand the mechanics of the universe around him. However, the Asperger's syndrome has made his life very challenging, especially as his father was not very typical. He was quite aggressive, so you can imagine how was his life. And maybe this is what shaped him into what he is today.
Richest person in the world, he may very well be the most...
Musk's early life was marked by both brilliance and challenge. While he was captivated by the vibrant culture and rich history surrounding him, he also faced the sting of bullying, which often accompanied his unconventional ways. In these formative years, book became his sanctuary, a refuge where he could escape into fantastical worlds filled with possibilities. Science fiction and fantasy novels not only fueled his imagination, but also allowed him to envision a future that transcended the ordinary. When Elon's family relocated to Canada, he found himself on the brink of destiny. Even as a teenager, he bristled against the mundane, driven by an unyielding desire to make a mark on the world. At just 12 years old, Musk immersed himself into computer programming, driven by a passion that few could understand. After countless hours of dedication, he created his first video game, Blastar. Then he sold it for $500. A rush of exhilaration surged through him. For a young boy, that amount was nothing short of life-changing. It was as if the universe had opened a door, revealing the extraordinary possibilities that lay ahead. In that moment, he didn't care about the money. He felt the weight of the achievement, a profound affirmation that his dreams were attainable. With each dollar, his imagination expanded, fueling a newfound belief in his potential. It was a thrilling validation that whispered to him he was destined for greatness, and this was only the beginning of his journey. Musk's thirst for knowledge led him to the University of Pennsylvania, where he earned degrees in physics and economics. It was here that his visionary outlook began to take shape as he identified key areas for disruption: the internet, renewable energy, and space exploration. After briefly attending Stanford University for a PhD in applied physics, Musk dropped out just 2 days in, eager to see the burgeoning opportunities in tech industry. However, his application to Netscape was rejected despite his promising ideas. He co-founded Zip2, an online city guide software for newspapers. Quite an achievement, but faced significant challenges along the way. Despite being the co-owner, he was later ousted from his own company, Zip2, during a power struggle with the board of directors. Nonetheless, Zip2 eventually found success and was acquired by Compaq, validating Musk's entrepreneurial instinct and setting the stage for his future endeavors. Musk's entrepreneurial journey was marked by resilience. He poured his heart and soul into X.com, an ambitious financial service platform aimed at changing how people managed money. This bold endeavor would eventually merge with Confinity to form PayPal, which marked a pivotal moment in Musk's career. But merging two distinct corporate cultures is not as easy as it seems, especially during the tumultuous .com era. This episode tested his managerial talent and taken his resilience to its limits. Despite the daunting challenges, including internal strife and external market pressures, Musk emerged triumphant. PayPal rise as a global leader in online payments, which culminated in its sale to eBay in 2002. As Musk's career began to soar, his personal life struck by a profound tragedy. In 2002, his first child, Nevada, died suddenly at just 10 weeks old from sudden infant death syndrome. This heart-wrenching loss cast a shadow over Musk's world, a reminder of life fragility amid his growing success. The pain of losing a child is an experience that can shatter even the strongest spirits, and Musk was no exception. The grief was overwhelming, yet it fueled his determination to push forward. In the face of such devastating loss, Musk's resilience emerged stronger than ever. He became more passionate about his work, channeling his pain into relentless pursuit of innovation and progress. The memory of his son became a quiet motivation, reminding him of the importance of making a lasting impact on the world, a legacy he hoped to create for his family and humanity at large. Meanwhile, with the newfound resources from PayPal, Musk set his sights on two monumental ventures, Tesla and SpaceX. Tesla Motors, founded in 2003, aimed to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy through electrical vehicles. Meanwhile, SpaceX, launched just a year later, sought to revolutionize space travel and make human life multiplanetary. Both companies faced intense skepticism and catastrophic failures at different levels, as Tesla grappled with production delays, which is normal in an R&D company. But SpaceX was totally a different case, as in the early years the company's survival hinged not only on technological innovation, but also on Elon Musk's remarkable willingness to risk his personal wealth. Back then, SpaceX was on the verge of collapse and Musk had a difficult decision to make: either walk away or invest his remaining funds to keep the company alive. But let's get deeper into this story. Musk initially allocated $100 million to fund his new ventures, but SpaceX was maybe too ambitious. As in the early days, SpaceX rocket development faced continuous technical setbacks that put immense strain on the company's finances. In 2008, it had experienced 3 consecutive rocket failures. These failures were devastating not only from a technological standpoint, but also from a financial one. Each failure required expensive redesigns and delays in testing, leading to mounting costs. Musk's financial commitment to SpaceX extended beyond his personal funds. During those difficult years, he didn't simply rely on his initial wealth from PayPal. He used his personal credit lines and borrowed against the remaining assets. He even sold off personal items, including his house, to raise additional money to keep the company going. In fact, after the third rocket failure, Musk's friends and advisors were urging him to pull out SpaceX and take what was left of his wealth to invest in more traditional business ventures. But Musk refused, believing deeply in his vision of reducing space travel costs and make humanity multiplanetary species. This vision and belief in the company drove him to keep investing in SpaceX despite the mounting financial risk. He was facing a company that had consumed almost all of his initial $100 million investment, and without success in the fourth Falcon 1 launch, SpaceX would likely to run out of cash. At this point, Musk's financial situation was becoming increasingly dire. By mid-2008, he had invested almost all of the remaining $20 million of his personal funds into keeping SpaceX operational. The company was struggling to secure additional funding from outside investors because of the repeated rocket failures, and Musk was aware of SpaceX's future. It was on the line. Rather than pulling out or scaling back, Musk chose to double down on SpaceX. He decided to fund the company with his remaining personal fortune, essentially risking everything he had. He poured the last amount into the company to keep it afloat, at least long enough to attempt a fourth Falcon 1 launch. He understood that this was the final opportunity. If the launch failed, SpaceX would likely go bankrupt, and he would lose everything he had worked for his entire life. In July 2009, SpaceX launched its fourth Falcon 1 rocket after 3 failures. This was the last shot, and Musk personally oversaw the launch, knowing that if the mission failed, the company would collapse. The tension surrounding the launch was immense, as failure meant not only the end of SpaceX, but also the loss of Elon Musk's remaining wealth. Against all odds, the fourth attempt was successful, and the Falcon 1 became the first privately developed liquid-fueled rocket to reach orbit. This achievement was a game-changer for both SpaceX and Musk. It validated the company's technology and proved that it could compete with industry giants like Boeing and Lockheed Martin. This success also brought critical credibility to SpaceX, which helped secure new contracts and attract additional investors. The successful fourth launch of Falcon 1 proved to be a game-changer, not only for the company's technological trajectory but also for its future. SpaceX began to gain attention from both investors and commercial partners. One of the most significant developments following this breakthrough was securing a contract with NASA, delivering cargo to the International Space Station ISS. This contract, valued at $1.6 billion, provided the much-needed capital to fund SpaceX's continued development. Additionally, NASA's endorsement validated SpaceX's capabilities, allowing the company to secure more funding and solidify its position into the aerospace industry. Musk's decision to risk all his remaining wealth to keep SpaceX alive is one of the most important moments in the history of the company and his meteoric ascent. It was a gamble that paid off, but it also revealed a key aspect of Musk's character: his relentless commitment and his willingness to endure extreme personal sacrifices to make them a reality. By taking this risk, Musk demonstrated that his vision for SpaceX was not just about the money, but about changing the future of space exploration. His personal investment, both financially and emotionally, was not only crucial to SpaceX survival, but to set the foundation for its long-term success. Without that crucial infusion of his own funds and the decision to keep going despite failures, SpaceX may never have survived its early years and could never have achieved its current position as a leader in space technology. Musk's financial gamble in those years shaped the course of modern space exploration, proving that sometimes the greatest risks yield the greatest rewards. Thank you very much.